game too. Thank you, Con. Thank you, Tavis. Thank you, ladies. Thanks for coming. See you next time on Chase Australia.
Tonight in 7 News, breaking news. A police investigation after a toddler is left in a hot car at Townsville University Hospital.
A bushfire shuts down Fraser Island as a severe heatwave approaches Queensland.
The Hoon, accused of badly injuring a 5-year-old Caboolture boy during a burnout, gets bail.
Football fans in mourning for Maradona. Wild scenes on the streets of Argentina.
The retirement revolution, more older Queenslanders turning to rentals and share houses as they battle the cost of living.
And crowd crushes as shoppers cash in on Black Friday sales. Trading hours have been extended.
Live from Brisbane, 7 News with Sharyn, Ghidella and Max Futcher.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news tonight. A child has been found dead in a car at Townsville Hospital this afternoon. It's understood a woman parked a white 4-wheel drive in the ambulance bay around 3:30 p.m. before alerting staff to the child in the back seat.
Temperatures were just shy of 33 degrees in the northern city today. Detectives are investigating whether the child, believed to be 4 years old, had been left inside the hot vehicle for a lengthy period of time. The Child Protection and Investigation Unit has been called in, but police are yet to comment on the incident. The world's largest sand island and one of Queensland's biggest tourist attractions is now off limits to visitors. Fire crews fear they won't be able to contain the burgeoning blaze on Fraser Island as a dangerous heatwave that's predicted to topple records edges closer.
For 6 weeks, it's been a slow burn. An unstoppable fire consuming close to half the island, 72,000 hectares of national park. Now the front is 5 kilometres from Kingfisher Bay, Fraser's most popular resort and most populated township.
We're getting all of our containment lines into place now so we can hopefully stop it sooner than later.
Extra crews, strike teams have arrived from the Sunshine Coast.
This is a very difficult fire in very difficult terrain. It's very hard to put out. What we need is rain.
They won't get it. Instead, by Sunday, Monday, the air will be drier, hotter, the wind forecast to swing, the fire predicted to intensify.
We feel prepared. For the meantime, it's business as usual.
Though it's not, the entire island is now off limits to visitors.
Residents and those who provide essential services to the island will still be able to travel between the island and the mainland.
Campers there already can stay.
Pay attention to current warnings as the situation could deteriorate.
As the heatwave sweeps east, today the southeast was largely spared, but will swelter into next week. Records predicted to fall in the Darling Downs.
Ipswich will be going for temperatures above 40 for the middle of next week. However, Brisbane is unlikely to get into the mid-30s because of that sea breeze.
Spare a thought for the people in the western Queensland town of Birdsville. On Sunday, their minimum overnight temperature is forecast to be the same as our maximum daytime temperature, 31 degrees. By 1 p.m. today, the mercury topped 47.
It's about 24 degrees inside the pub and the beer's sitting at about 2 degrees.
Parts of the central west climbed into the low 40s.
That's just what we expect here in Cloncurry. We're always proud to put on a warm welcome.
The town's newest attraction opening just in time. Tom Hartley, 7 News.
And Paul Burt joins us now. And Bertie, will we see that heat here?
Absolutely there, but not as hot as the central interior at the moment there, Sharyn. We're talking 43 degrees, obviously, around Alice Springs, but come next Wednesday, that's going to be the peak, so it'll gradually build up to that time. Have a look at the heat map. You can see it moving through the northern tropics, central interior. It is making its way towards the eastern seaboard. Next Wednesday, Ipswich, we're talking 43 degrees, 33 in the city, and as the Bureau is saying, closer to the coast, it's going to be much cooler due to the sea breeze, but as soon as you hit those hinterland pockets, whack another 5 to 8 degrees on top. It's going to be a very warm week ahead and, of course, remaining fairly dry. I'll have more weather for you shortly.
Thanks, Bertie. To developing news now. A kayaker is believed to have drowned on Lake Samson Vale in Joyner this afternoon. Paramedics were called, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say the cause of death will be investigated, but at this stage there are no suspicious circumstances. A driver accused of hooning moments before his tyre flew off and hit a 5-year-old boy in Caboolture has been released on bail. The 18-year-old has spoken out about the incident, saying he feels horrible about the chain of events that left a child fighting for life.
Walking from the watch house, Blake Jennings-Davey had plenty to say.
Why were you doing burnouts down a main street?
I shouldn't have been, it was dumb.
He knows he should never have been behind the wheel. Police say he's unlicensed, his car unregistered.
There's no good reason for it at all.
But he disputes their claims. He's also unremorseful.
How are you feeling about what happened?
Horrible.
Jennings-Davey allegedly did a burnout at a set of lights on Wednesday afternoon. When they turned green, police say he accelerated and a wheel flew off his vehicle, striking a 5-year-old boy walking on the footpath. Instead of helping, officers say he walked straight past the severely injured child to pick up his wheel. But the 18-year-old says it's not that he didn't want to help, he didn't know how.
I do not know CPR, there's not, I don't know, first aid, there's not much else I can really do. I offered to help, there's not much I could do though, so I didn't.
He is very remorseful about this occurrence. He does feel very bad for the child.
The little boy is still in an induced coma here at the Queensland Children's Hospital, where he spent the past 2 days surrounded by his family, who this afternoon said, "We are grateful for the overwhelming community support and have been comforted by everyone's kind thoughts and prayers." In granting the teenager bail, the magistrate ordered he report to police every day of the working week, warning, "You breach this bail in any manner and you won't get bail again." Jennings-Davey will return to court in January. Mackenzie Rawn, 7 News.
This summer has been called the most critical holiday break in history for struggling tourism operators in the southeast. Many are cautiously optimistic of a COVID bounce back as Victoria today reached an elimination milestone.
Celebrating the beginning of a new Queensland normal. The opening of borders triggering a flood of interstate tourist bookings, critical for an industry sent to the wall by COVID.
This is the most important holiday Christmas break in the Gold Coast history to show that we can recover and recover well.
Today, Victoria reached what only a few months ago wasn't dreamed possible. The state recording 28 days of no new cases of COVID-19, no new deaths and no active cases. New South Wales has had 20 consecutive days without community transmission, Queensland more than 70. Hotels around the state already nearly at capacity for Christmas.
From about the 23rd of December through until about the 10th of January, we're actually pretty much fully booked.
And in the next few months, as the Queensland economy gets going again, there'll be bigger opportunities for job seekers, with hospitality, retail and construction tipped to be the biggest areas of growth.
Property development, medical research and IT industry, film and television. We're going to be right on top.
Meanwhile, 11 police officers potentially exposed to COVID in a hotel quarantine incident at Southbank last week have all returned negative tests. The Queensland Police Service says it's conducting welfare checks on the members each day as they isolate at home. Katrina Blowers, 7 News.
China has fired a new and damaging shot in its trade war with Australia. It slapped massive tariffs on our wine exports, worth more than $1.2 billion a year. The new taxes, up to more than 200%, start tomorrow and make Australian wine almost unaffordable in China.
It's the latest salvo in an increasingly bitter breakdown of trade, China launching swift and savage tariffs.
This is a very distressing time for many hundreds of Australian wine producers.
Ranging from 107 to 212%, pushing up a $20 bottle of Aussie wine to $60.
To get this sudden interim decision we found devastating. Shipments will slow or stop immediately.
It's our biggest overseas wine market, almost 40% of exports. Beijing claims Australia is dumping wine, selling it cheaper in China than in Australia, undercutting Chinese producers. Our government says those claims are false, the tariffs grossly unfair.
It is wrong.
But not unexpected, with China punishing Australia for political reasons, like our support for Hong Kong, an inquiry into COVID-19 and moves to counter Chinese agents and influence. They've already hit exports of beef, coal and sugar, among others, all despite a free trade agreement worth $240 billion. Far from dumping the cheapest wine,
we know that you send some of the highest priced wines to China.
Among the big losers, Treasury Wine Estates, owner of Penfolds and Wolf Blass. Its shares down almost 13% today before calling a trading halt.
If this is going to become a long-term thing, then it's definitely going to impact on the wineries.
There might be some small upside for Australian consumers, while we most definitely won't see a price drop. Some of the wines that have been in short supply because so much of it was sent to China will now be a little bit easier to get hold of.
We'll see Penfolds obviously being a little bit more available, we hope, because it's been tough the last few years.
Canberra will demand an explanation, appealing to the World Trade Organisation if necessary, but for now, Red China might do without Aussie Reds. Evan Batten, 7 News.
Some breaking news now about Australian Dr Kylie Moore-Gilbert, who's finally arrived home after being released from an Iranian prison. She touched down in Canberra today. The academic spent 2 years behind bars in Tehran, but was released in exchange for 3 Iranian prisoners. She's thanked Australian officials for their tireless efforts in securing her freedom. NRL superstar Jarryd Hayne has taken the stand in his rape trial, testifying he had consensual sex and never intended to hurt his alleged victim. The court heard Hayne called another State of Origin star about the woman who he thought was starting to make things up.
I called Jarryd Hayne, and with those words, the former league star was invited to tell jurors his version of he said, she said. She was keen, pretty upfront. He had left a Bucks weekend drunk on the way to Sydney and says the woman's mother showed him into the young woman's bedroom. She was on her bed. I tried to get a bit of small talk happening. I could feel she was nervous. How did you feel? Awkward. What did you intend to do? Best case scenario, I'd be having sex with her. Hayne agreed she was hesitant when she realised his taxi was waiting, telling him, "Did you think you were just going to come here and have sex with me?" But he testified after watching the end of the NRL Grand Final with her mother, he returned to the bedroom where they engaged in consensual sexual activity. You know, she has given evidence that she said don't or no or stop. Yes. Did she? No. Then the woman was injured. Did you think anything you were doing might hurt her? No. Hayne told the court he was attentive but left, and when she messaged him 2 days later asking why he didn't stop when she said no, I was fuming by that stage, yes. I could tell she was starting to make up something that wasn't true. Phone intercepts with New South Wales Origin teammate Mitchell Pearce reveal Hayne called her a weirdo. She was just filthy that I left her.
Hayne's lawyer reminded the jury his client does not need to prove his innocence, that prosecutors need to prove his guilt. He also said Jarryd Hayne is not compelled to testify, but chose to. That testimony continues next week. In Newcastle, Robert Ovadia, 7 News.
A retired Special Forces commander has launched a blistering attack on the Chief of the Defence Force following the damning war crimes report. Heston Russell says it's disgusting that he and his colleagues will be stripped of special awards while those in charge could keep theirs.
At the place considered sacred ground by Australian veterans, retired Commando Heston Russell launches a new attack.
And that is one of the most disgusting demonstrations of senior leadership that has made me very disappointed to call myself a military veteran.
A stinging assessment of the Chief of the Defence Force after moves to revoke unit awards in the wake of the damning Brereton war crimes report.
To strip all over 3,000 Special Forces personnel for the action of 19 is not only disgusting, it's un-Australian.
If we knew then what we know now, the unit would not have received or been put forward for a meritorious unit citation.
Despite alleging Special Forces soldiers murdered 39 Afghans, the report largely clears the military top brass of any wrongdoing. But Heston Russell believes, as commander of all forces in Afghanistan, the general should lose his Distinguished Service Cross.
It's important that not only is there accountability in the Defence Forces for individual alleged acts, but also in the chain of command.
Refusing to be drawn on whether he should resign, Lieutenant General Burr today confirmed that 13 serving members of the Special Air Service Regiment implicated in the report now face the sack. Issued with termination notices, they have 14 days to respond. Rob Scott, 7 News.
A group of thieves is on the run after using a stolen car to ram their way into Woolworths at Hamilton Harbour early this morning. The masked trio was captured on CCTV, reversing into the glass doors before leaping over the counter. They then used a crowbar to raid the cabinets, making off with several bags of cigarettes. The SUV was found half submerged in the Nudgee waterhole around 4 a.m.
Football legend Diego Maradona has been laid to rest in a day of remarkable scenes in Argentina. A crush of fans queuing to see his casket clash with police before more lined the streets of Buenos Aires to farewell the 60-year-old they called God.
An Argentinian wake for football's king. For 20 blocks, they sang tens of thousands waiting to see Maradona. His coffin draped in his nation's flag and his famous number 10, a legion of fans. Their passion explosive. Fearing they'd miss out, the crowd surged into the presidential palace. Police unleashed. Rubber bullets, tear gas and water cannon. The public viewing over before Maradona made one last trip through his city. An extraordinary procession, his casket surrounded. Like a state funeral, a farewell through the suburbs. And down the highway, closed just for him. Argentina said goodbye to the legend who carried a country, and today they carried him to a final resting place beside his parents. Overnight, former club Napoli, every player in number 10, paused. The stadium outside lit up by fans who'll never forget. And in the slum where a legend was born, this, eternally, thank you. Emma Dallymore, 7 News.
A major setback in the race to find a COVID vaccine. Next, why the Oxford candidate will undergo a new global trial.
Rail safety warning, the cyclists, pedestrians and drivers dicing with death.
A woman's rampage in the alcohol aisle at Aldi.
And before weather, rentals and share houses, the future of retirement living.
Seven News brought to you by Industry Super Funds.
Pretty soon, the amount of super paid on top of our wages will go up. And up. And up. And up. All the way to 12% guaranteed. That extra money will make a big difference when I retire. Put my feet up. You see, your future is even more super.
I want to offer you a life-changing amount of money.
The champions are back.
$160,000. $250,000.
Who will risk it all?
This is really tough. We don't just give you the money.
To be Australia's greatest quiz champion.
This is the biggest game ever.
This is the grand final. Beat the Chasers. Sunday at 7 on 7.
For a limited time only at Amart Furniture, we've got our Mega Black Friday sale with up to 50% off a huge range of online exclusives. So what are you waiting for? Amart Furniture, on sale this week only.
JB Hi-Fi's mega price blitzes on now with prices smashed store-wide. Like a whopping 20% off big brand computers, 20% off. Includes laptops and desktops. Microsoft Surface, gaming computers to monitors, 20% off. Shop in-store, online or call us. JB, you've done it again.
There is still magic wherever you are.
Cherish those golden to us this Christmas. Fragrant hazelnuts, smooth velvety chocolate. Say it with gold. Ferrero Rocher.
Maybe we could find ways to call time out on our kids' busy routines before they get sick. But if they do, Children's Panadol can start to reduce fever in just 15 minutes. Together, let's rethink care.
Let's do it, baby. It's on, mate.
Make this week one to remember. Run second, third or even fourth and get money back in bonus up to $50 on selected races every day. PointsBet.
See? Nailed it.
I never slept out underneath the stars. I lied about being the outdoor type.
Hyundai Tucson. Made for it, even if you're not.
Get your Woolies worth and prepare for Christmas with prices dropped on 140 more products. Like Bickford's cordial variety 750ml, now just $3.60. Helping your money go further this Christmas at Woolworths.
Queensland Rail has launched a new safety campaign aiming to get a vital message through to pedestrians, cyclists and motorists. It follows 211 near misses and 7 collisions in the past year.
You shouldn't have been there.
Trains can't stop quickly. You can.
Those caught ignoring the rules face fines of more than $1,000 and 3 demerit points. A hiccup over the effectiveness of the Oxford University COVID vaccine won't stop Australia's rollout in March. New human trials have been ordered after a mix-up in the lab. The government also wants Australians stuck overseas to have access.
So many families.
Stephanie Kane is stranded in the UK with her 3 children, the youngest just 6 weeks old.
It's pretty frustrating. We've had our flights booked since July.
4 cancellations later, she's desperate to come home.
We just want to get our lives back sorted in Australia.
Stephanie is one of thousands of Aussies stuck overseas.
The Prime Minister said he would have Australians home for Christmas.
26,000 wanted to come home in September. Since then, 35,000 have returned. Now another 36,000 have registered.
We're meeting the amounts that we hope to achieve by Christmas. It's just that more people are looking to come home.
For those unable to return, the federal government is now looking at ways to provide them with a free COVID vaccine.
Our goal is to protect all Australians, no matter where they are.
But a slight setback in one of the most promising candidates. US scientists have raised concerns about the effectiveness of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. It follows a manufacturing error on doses administered during the trials. Now the company is redoing them.
When you started to look closer, not everything seemed to add up.
Australia has purchased 33.8 million doses of the UK Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, 10 million of the American Pfizer vaccine, 40 million for Novavax, both due for release early next year, 51 million for the University of Queensland's candidate, likely rolled out from July, and another 25 million in reserve.
We've had strong evidence of safety, strong evidence of effectiveness.
Despite the delay, 7 News can reveal that top officials met in Canberra today and approved the rollout of the first vaccines to go to medical professionals and possibly the elderly in March next year. Jennifer Beshwati, 7 News.
2 passengers have somehow survived being flung from an out-of-control car in India. The spectacular crash was caught on camera, the car flipping wildly after hitting a tree. A dog tied to a leash scurried out of the way just in time as 2 men in the back seat were sent rocketing out the door. Another 5 men then piled out of the upturned vehicle. They were all drunk and not wearing seatbelts. Remarkably, no one was seriously injured. Staff at an Aldi in the UK could do little but watch as a woman smashed hundreds of bottles of alcohol. She remained silent as she dragged bottles of wine and spirits off the shelves while horrified customers watched on.
What is she doing?
Police finally moved in and arrested the woman. She was taken to hospital. Her motive was unknown.
The Southeast is no stranger to a Hollywood blockbuster. Next, the latest movie just announced for the Gold Coast.
Huge crowds converge on south-east shopping centres for Black Friday, where there are still bargains to be had.
Why the Palaszczuk government has referred a North Queensland aquarium to the corruption watchdog.
And after sport, how 2 minutes made this Australian painting the most expensive in our history.
Retirement rentals, the villages where residents don't have to buy their home.
We're getting hundreds of inquiries every month.
Plus, the share houses for older Queenslanders who are downsizing or can't afford a mortgage.
We're seeing something of a rental revolution going on.
The future of retirement living is here. Coming up on 7 News.
Do you want to know how it's going to end? We should. It's a good story.
You're talking about an armed robbery.
I'm not going to lose you too. I love you. Nothing will ever change that.
He thinks that I'm into you.
Crazy, huh?
Totally.
I have a son. I'm looking for the Stewarts.
I told him to stay away. Shouldn't be here.
He's going to die in there.
But he is a cop!
You really thought you'd get away with it? Constable Thorne.
Hold your breath for the heart-stopping season final of Home and Away. Monday at 7 on 7.
Looks pretty good, eh?
Food's almost ready!
Put it on. Yay!
Bring home a little magic this Christmas.
Christmas can really add up. So we're helping to lighten the load, just a little, with $100 off any new NRMA comprehensive car insurance policy.
Black November ends Sunday at Nick Scali. We must clear our floor stock and discontinued lines. Lounges reduced, dining tables reduced, dining chairs reduced, and much more. Limited stock ends Sunday. Black November at all Nick Scali stores. Hurry.
I'd like a bar of chocolate, please. Happy birthday, Mum.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Years of relentless improvement have led to pioneering Dyson technology, now re-engineered into a bigger format for faster deep cleaning. By direct from the people who made it.
Thought you were just getting the cherries.
Find all your Christmas specials like Australian IGA half or whole leg ham, $8.99 per kilo. And Streets Magnum Sticks 4 to 6 pack varieties, $4.50, half price. Now at your local IGA.
Never miss a moment of cricket this summer. Save 25% on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE 5G when you stay connected and score bonus Galaxy Buds Plus for $23.91 a month over 36 months. EU rule with Vodafone.
Another Hollywood blockbuster is headed for the Gold Coast. Amanda Abate, it's a story we're very familiar with.
Well, that's right, Sharyn. The incredible rescue of 12 boys and their soccer coach who were trapped inside a cave in Thailand for 2 weeks. That will be reenacted for the big screen, with legendary director Ron Howard hoping to start filming in the Gold Coast hinterland in March. The federal government paid $13 million to lure the production here, but it is expected to generate $100 million into the local economy and create 400 jobs. Called 13 Lives, it will be the latest big-budget film for the Gold Coast, with the Elvis biopic and Chris Hemsworth film also in production here already.
Thanks, Amanda. President Trump says he will leave the White House in January if the US Congress confirms his election loss, but he won't give up his fight. A defiant president clashed with reporters as Americans marked a major holiday cruelled by the pandemic.
3, 2, 1, let's have a parade!
New York's annual Thanksgiving parade has marched through snowstorms, a Great Depression, now on empty streets, a pandemic.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
The president spoke by video with soldiers.
You play golf? You love it, right?
Earlier, he'd indulged his own love of the game. But a reporter upset him more.
Don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way.
Taking questions for the first time since November 3rd's election and doubling down on his big claim with little evidence that he won.
It's going to be a very hard thing to concede, because we know there was massive fraud.
The president says he will leave the White House if Joe Biden's win is confirmed, but will continue his election fight.
This year we're going to be staying in Delaware with just a small group around our dinner table.
Joe and Jill Biden's Thanksgiving message focused on the pandemic.
From our family to yours,
Happy Thanksgiving.
God bless you.
Despite all the warnings, this has still been the busiest travel week in America since the start of the pandemic in March. Health experts fearing that the daily death toll could double over the next 10 days, from 2,000 to 4,000 deaths a day.
Have you got a message for America this Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I hope that we all stay safe.
From the country's leading infectious disease doctor.
Australia's done a good job. You guys should be congratulated.
In Washington, D.C., Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
The Palaszczuk government has referred a North Queensland aquarium to the corruption watchdog, alleging it misused a multi-million-dollar coronavirus support grant. Among the spending in question is a donation to the Labor Party.
When coronavirus shutdowns hit tourism operators this year, the state government gave the Cairns Aquarium $3.5 million from taxpayers.
It's important that we support these iconic tourism ventures.
Not anymore.
Absolutely furious, off and annoyed that without any dialogue or any consultation, the state has decided to terminate our funding support.
The State Development Department telling the aquarium it had made payments which do not appear to be consistent with the recipient's request for assistance, including a $10,000 Labor Party donation, a new vehicle, and $25,000 to repay a loan from the aquarium owner's parents. The aquarium claims none of it was paid for with the grant money.
We had revenues coming in and we use that for certain business operating costs.
In a statement, the Deputy Premier says the Labor Party will refund the donation.
We make no apologies for supporting our MPs.
$1 million of the grant had already been paid.
As a result of this being referred to the Crime and Misconduct Commission, I'm really in no position to make any statements.
I cannot even fathom why on earth they would want to be referring us to anyone.
Now referring the state to his lawyers. Patrick Lyons, 7 News.
A scathing report has found police are giving out gun licences to offenders who are a risk to community safety. The Auditor-General found some people with a history of offending were approved and went on to commit drug and domestic violence offences. The Queensland Police Service is now setting up a new team to tighten controls.
We are very comfortable with the 13 recommendations that have been made by the Queensland Audit Office.
More than 3,000 lost or stolen registered guns in Queensland are unaccounted for.
Shops will stay open until 9 o'clock tonight as retailers cash in on a surge of activity in Black Friday sales. They may have started earlier this week, but they're peaking today and this weekend, with huge crowds already filing through the doors.
When it comes to Black Friday, it seems many shoppers don't know what it means.
I actually don't know, no, I don't.
No. Can you have a guess?
Me first? I don't know, to me it's just, usually a good time to get out and have a shop.
But they sure know what it means to spend.
Yeah, I woke up early for this. I was like, Mum, put on your fitness gear, we're going.
Following Thanksgiving, Black Friday is regarded as the beginning of the shopping season in the US, as good a reason as any for Aussies to spend up big.
Today, it is such a vibrant atmosphere. It's great. And it's, we're trading through till 9 o'clock, so I think it's only going to get bigger.
Major brands driving prices down.
Brands like David Jones with up to 50% off. JB Hi-Fi up to 50% off.
Retail experts predict shoppers will spend a staggering $52.3 billion nationwide.
It seems COVID has only encouraged our spending. In the lead up to Christmas, Queenslanders are expected to splash $16.2 billion. That's 6% more than last year.
And it's because, there's more money in the economy due to that economic stimulus, and also people have been confined to their homes for some period.
The Black Friday sales end Sunday night, just in time for Cyber Monday. Isabel Mullen, 7 News.
A car slams into a corner store at Toowoomba. Next, just how close did the shop owner come to being injured?
The rental revolution helping Queensland retirees.
The new program ensuring everyone gets a go at our national sport.
And Bindi Irwin shares a precious pregnancy update.
It's time to celebrate this year's end.
What a crazy 12 months it's been.
With a Christmas special so big it spans the nation.
All hands on deck.
We can do something beautiful. 2 amazing makeovers, so many festive ideas.
I'm blown away.
Join us for the Better Homes Christmas special, next up on 7.
Australia loves the fiery hot McSpicy. Now discover the crispy schnitzel burger, available for a limited time only. New 100% Aussie chicken burgers at Macca's. Now that's too good to keep to yourself.
Harvey Norman Big Friday. Big deals store-wide, one day only. Save $30 on the SodaStream Jet Drink Maker, now only $39. That's nearly half price. Hisense King Size 65-inch 4K Smart TV. Hot price, only $895. This silver Hisense side-by-side fridge is great value at just $998. Stores open late tonight with more Big Friday deals, plus 60 months interest-free with bonus gift card. At Harvey Norman, do not miss out.
Go! This is the Dyson Corral Straightener with manganese copper alloy plates. Invented to flex, shape, and gather for enhanced styling. With less damage. And even without a cord. Dyson Corral.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Dream a little dream.
Dreaming of an Audi Q? Enjoy complimentary registration, stamp duty, CTP, 5 years, 75,000 kilometre scheduled servicing, and a 5-year manufacturer's warranty on select models. At the Audi Q sales event now.
The Rebel biggest Black Friday sale on now. Get 30% off all full-price Adidas and Under Armour clothing, plus buy one, get one half price on all footwear. There's loads more, but be quick. Sale ends Monday. Rebel. Sport is calling.
Black November ends Sunday at Nick Scali. We must clear our floor stock and discontinued lines up to 30, 40 and 50% off. Our floor stock must go. Limited stock ends Sunday. Black November at all Nick Scali stores. Hurry.
You can't see the generous dash of Queen Vanilla in your Just Because cupcakes or your best ever birthday cake. But they can taste it. A little Queen does wonders.
To finance, and the Australian share market ended the week higher despite closing the day in the red. The ASX 200 dropping 35 points. Treasury Wines went into a trading halt after news broke of China's tariffs on Australian wine exports. Bigger Cheese surged up 35 cents after successfully completing capital raising to take over Lion Dairy and Drinks. The Australian dollar is buying 73 US cents and $1.05 New Zealand. And drivers should hold off filling up the petrol tank for a few more days as prices continue to fall. A pedestrian has been struck and a supermarket smashed up after a driver lost control in a Toowoomba car park. The store's owner is just relieved he filled the drinks fridge when he did.
A Toowoomba Foodworks, known for its fish and chips, left battered and in pieces.
It was very scary for us.
Especially for owner Vijay Jalavia, who'd only just finished stocking the fridges.
Just before 2 minutes ago, I was filling the drinks here. Lucky I wasn't there just now.
And lucky no one else was either. There'd been a dozen people inside the store 15 minutes earlier, but only a couple were at the counter when the Mercedes-Benz came crashing in around 11 a.m.
They pushed the register and everything as well.
7 News understands the driver, a regular customer, clipped the curb, tried to correct, then hit a parked car and pedestrian before ploughing through the shop front.
The driver of the car was quite lucky and uninjured.
So too the person she struck, who escaped with cuts, bruises and a possible fractured ankle.
Yeah, he's actually just got out of his car and he was going into the shop.
Instead, he was taken to hospital for treatment as firefighters assessed the damage. And a loss of business on a busy Friday night.
We already booked out for fish and chips for tonight and we need to cancel all orders now.
At least today's news will make tomorrow's fish and chip paper. Mac Lyon, 7 News.
23 children with intellectual disabilities have put their cricket skills to the test in a 4-week All Abilities program. Valley's District Cricket Club hopes to create opportunities for kids working in partnership with the Special Olympics and Queensland Cricket.
Now watches, the Big Bash with a better understanding. He thinks he could be there too. He's hitting sixes here, so he can hit sixes there.
The next program starts February. Mum-to-be Bindi Irwin has posted a video from her latest ultrasound. The 22-year-old says she and husband Chandler Powell can't wait to meet their beautiful daughter.
Wow. You can see her heartbeat there.
The baby girl is due in late March or early April.
A sea of yellow is blanketing parts of the Southern Downs. Huge fields of sunflowers stretching as far as the eye can see are finally in full bloom. The spectacular sight is attracting huge crowds to local farms. The growers say it's taken a bit longer this year for the fields to flourish, but now is the time to grab a camera and take a road trip. Coming up, a Brett Whiteley painting breaks the Australian art auction record. So just how much did it sell for? And rentals and share houses for older Queenslanders, the future of retirement. Interested, Pat?
Not ready just yet, but I will keep an eye on the story, OK? Hello, everyone. Ahead, Iron Mike, a long way from retirement. Look who's bowling up a storm. Is there anything Cameron Munster can't do? And King Coley might be king, but at the SCG, the Aussie skipper and his number 3 dished out the royal treatment.
Yesterday, a wizard entered New York with a case full of magical creatures, and unfortunately, some have escaped.
2 Fantastic Beasts movies over 2 massive nights. The original tonight, the premiere tomorrow. See the whole Fantastic Beasts story, starting tonight on 7.
This Christmas, share award-winning Woolworths half-leg ham, just $9 a kilo. Plus, get $10 off the total marked price at the checkout. Hurry, end Sunday. Helping you share the spirit of Christmas. Woolworths.
Harvey Norman Big Friday. Save $150 on this Acer Spin laptop, now $298. Save over $500 on the Samsung 49-inch Odyssey G9 gaming monitor, now $2,294. Samsung Galaxy A51, now $429, save $170. Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus, now $168, save $130. Stores open late tonight with more Big Friday deals, plus 60 months interest-free with bonus gift card. Big Friday at Harvey Norman.
Go!
So it's between that one and this one.
Make the choice easy. Get a 3.9% comparison rate across the Corolla hatch and sedan range. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
At Officeworks, we're always keeping our low prices in check. Because right now, low prices matter more than ever. So check out this verbatim 32GB USB 3-pack, just $17.48. This Lenovo Full HD monitor, a low $128. Or this Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 Athlon laptop, only $497. Plus, it's all backed by our 5% price beat guarantee. Just another way Officeworks helps you make bigger things happen.
For tough pain relief, my go-to is Panadol Extra. Because if I don't, with my migraine headaches, I'm kind of useless in the kitchen. It's good to know you can still help out the people who need you. Together, let's rethink care.
It's time for the Super Cheap Auto Black Friday 5-day sale. Get 4 litres of Gulf Western XP20 W50 just $9.99, half price, and 25% off Century and SCA 4-wheel drive batteries.
Do you want to know a secret? Do you promise not to tell?
Give chocolate secretly to someone you love. Your spare pair. Your new style of hair pair. The flying through the air pair. We could all use a second pair. At Specsavers, get 2 designer pairs, no gap, from the $199 single vision range when you're with selected health funds.
On Weekend Sunrise, full house. Australia's holiday hotspots swamped, but we have the vacancy rates where you can get in before it's too late from 7 a.m.
Australia's big 3, Finch, Smith and Warner, have torched India's bowlers as the heavily hyped ODI series produced in spades this afternoon. Twin tons to the Aussie skipper and his number 3 have left India with a daunting 375-run target.
Outside the beat of an Indian summer. But inside the SCG, fierce rivals stood as one. A barefoot ceremony before they remembered Dino. Then Phillip Hughes, 6 years to the day. But once the gloves were on, Warner signalled the Aussies' intent head on.
Oh, hello.
Channeling Matt Hayden, he and Finch opened up the shoulders.
Up-ish and wide of mid-off.
But it wasn't the only throwback. Like Dino with Curtly Ambrose, they wanted sweatbands removed.
Officially through the gap. He was sweating on that, Aaron Finch.
Hard to believe they were only released yesterday, 2 weeks cooped up in isolation.
He's getting frustrated. He takes it out on the white ball.
IPL habits die hard. The 100 partnership came in the 19th. It took a review and Snicko to break it on 156. Bat on ball, not bat on ground.
And that will be a replay shown ad nauseum.
So will this.
Oh, reverse! Oh, and he's got it through the gap.
King Kohli shaded by Emperor Aaron's century.
First one for Aaron Finch at the SCG as well into 17th. He pays a bit of respect there to Phillip Hughes.
Steve Smith had lives on 13 and 38. 50 off 36, the number 3 meant it when he said he'd found his hands.
Oh. It's all the way for 6.
The tourists are still looking for theirs.
If they're going to feel like that, 400's on, BJ.
Close, even when they stopped Finch on 114, it brought Maxwell to the crease. Not a single 6 in the IPL. He made up for it, 45 off 19.
Oh, it's hit that hard. That could be 6, it is.
But in 62 devastating balls, Smith emulated his skipper and zeroed in on Virat's crown.
That is the 3rd fastest ever for Australia in one-day cricket.
Ben Davis, 7 News.
The Heat women are ruining what should have been after losing 6 for 12 and squandering their shot at a WBBL title three-peat. They were chasing a modest 144 and despite early blows, they always looked on track until panic set in. There were 3 run-outs.
Oh, this will be close. They're up and about. The Thunder. They like it.
Laura Cummins arrived and did what she excels at. She bludgeoned 37 from 17, 4 sixes, 2 fours, turned the match, and it was Brisbane's for the taking until Bates struck.
Pressure sort of got to us. So credit to some of the Thunder bowlers. They executed their plans very well.
Hannah Darlington snared 3 for 19, while Sammy Jo Johnson's move from Brisbane to the Thunder may yet yield a 3rd title. He was a menacing presence for the Maroons. Little wonder his new Titans teammates can't wait to play alongside Tina Fasua-Malawi. His Origin exploits have only heightened anticipation on the coast. His Game 2 rumble with Payne Haas attracted the headlines, but Phillip Sammy's learnt there's so much more to Big Tino.
I think he's real mature for his age, and obviously he's a freak of a player, and I can't wait to work and play with him.
Sammy returned to the fold early for the Titans golf day. The reasons unclear. Suffice to say, Origin has him pumped to return to the footy fold ASAP.
I didn't even play that last game, and I could probably say that was the best feeling I've had in my career so far.
And he's thrilled that ex-Titan Bryce Cartwright's career isn't done, thrown a lifeline by the Eels.
I haven't been in that environment for since July, so I can't wait to start competing on the field.
But rugby league apparently is a long way from Cameron Munster's mind.
Pretty lucky, really. Obviously, our wicketkeeper's old man is his manager, so just got lucky and he was keen for a game of cricket.
Origin's man of the series ensured a bumper crowd for a twilight practice T20 between Sunshine Coast Scorchers and Tuatapere. The Maroons wizard even picked up a wicket. The ball wasn't lethal, but it's clear a teenage Munster was multi-skilled. Well known for unleashing their emotions, Argentina's rugby side wants to honour one of their great supporters with victory over the All Blacks in Newcastle tomorrow night. Diego Maradona was a regular in the Pumas dressing room after Test matches. This was at the 2015 World Cup.
He had an attraction, like the world stopped when he was there.
The winner will take the lead in the Tri-Nations before next weekend's Wallabies-Argentina finale. Roy Jones Jr. has 2 days to reconsider if he'll risk life and limb by fighting a rebuilt, revamped, but still seemingly lethal Mike Tyson. Looking cut, the 54-year-old Iron Mike's taking the so-called exhibition fight very seriously.
I'm the greatest fighter since the conception of God. How could I not pick this opportunity up?
A world champion, 4 different divisions, Jones is no slouch, but Tyson remains a firm favourite. No, thank you. Happy to be sitting on the outside watching that.
I think so. Wise move. All right, thank you, Pat. An anonymous buyer has set an Australian art record by paying well over $6 million for a Brett Whiteley painting.
A big prize for a big canvas and a sign the local art market is defying economic gloom.
Brett Whiteley's 1975 Henri's armchair, named for Henri Matisse, was never going cheap. Only 30 people in the auction room, but they represented serious money. Bidding opened at $4.5 million.
At $4.6 million on bid.
Moving by $100,000 increments.
Make no mistake, we are selling this evening.
And so they did 2 minutes later for $6.136 million, including GST and commission.
Congratulations, Martin. You sold for your product.
Going to a North Shore Sydney family who, understandably, remain anonymous.
The most expensive painting ever sold at auction in Australia by an Australian artist.
Eclipsing the previous record of $5.4 million for Sydney Nolan's first-class marksman. Before that, Whiteley, who died in 1992, was the undisputed record holder. Another of his armchair paintings sold for $3.9 million, while his Olgas sold for $3.4 million. There is no doubt that art can be a good investment. Plenty were surprised when Gough Whitlam approved the $1.3 million purchase of Jackson Pollock's Blue Poles back in 1973. That is today said to be worth $500 million. Henri's armchair was sold by Elizabeth Evatt, widow of barrister and art dealer Clive Evatt. She says it's worth every cent and more. Cameron Price, 7 News.
Did you buy it?
No, haven't got that amount of cash,
We'll
I'm
see.
afraid.
Probably hanging at your place. The cost of living is continuing to rise and it's hurting retirees. Next, the rental revolution, making life more affordable for older Queenslanders.
Dry yet hot weekend ahead. All those details, plus my outside report after the break.
It's time to celebrate this year's end.
What a crazy 12 months it's been.
With a Christmas special so big it spans the nation.
All hands on deck.
We can do something beautiful. 2 amazing and very Aussie makeovers.
Wow.
Packed with ideas.
Terrific.
Bringing colour to any home.
I'm blown away.
And festive ideas for a happy holidays.
Christmas is shaping up to be pretty special this year.
Join us for the Better Homes Christmas special. Next up on 7.
It's Black Friday sale time at your local Better. Save up to 30% on dishwashers and up to 30% on TVs. More deals in store and online. Black Friday sale on now. Ends Tuesday. Go local. That's better.
Geeks to you saved my life.
Actually, I just saved all these photos. This PC had a virus.
Geeks to you, set up, synced up and sorted out my world.
Well, her IT world at least.
With our new improved download speed, we're streaming every night.
Is there no end to their problem-solving powers?
If there is a problem we can't fix, you don't pay.
They may be geeks to you, but they're miracle workers to me.
Call 1300 Geeks to You and we'll come to you.
You never want to take off the perfect shoe. At the Athlete's Foot, get fitted in store with MyFit 3D or online with MyFit Virtual. Get up to 40% off selected footwear this weekend only. Ends Monday. The Athlete's Foot. Now that's fit.
Black November ends Sunday at Nick Scali. We must clear our floor stock and discontinued lines. Lounges reduced, dining tables reduced, dining chairs reduced, and much more. Limited stock ends Sunday. Black November at all Nick Scali stores. Hurry.
Once there was a huge
Your kids never stop surprising you. Give some surprise back. Discover the new toys of Dino Dash and Fairy Friends. Kinder Surprise. Life is made of surprise.
3, 2, 1. Fast track into the new year and enjoy complimentary 5-year service inclusive across selected BMW demonstrator models. Book your test drive today.
Great gifts delivered fast. With unlimited free express metro delivery through eBay Plus, there's a person for every gift. On eBay.
Fifi! Teddy! Jana!
If you really like dogs,
You want to give them triple protection against fleas and ticks, intestinal worms and deadly heartworm. So, if you're a dog person, you're a Simparica Trio person too.
Catch a great energy deal with Alinta Energy and celebrate with up to $300 worth of KO on us.
I think I'll have to check them out.
Find your energy saving today at alintaenergy.com.au.
So, I need a holiday.
Do you?
Yeah, for Australia.
What about the outback?
Yes.
We could catch our own lunch.
I know exactly what you mean.
We should just go somewhere we've always wanted to go.
Yes. Oh, honey, I could teach the kids to surf.
You don't know how to surf.
Yeah, I mean, obviously someone would teach me and then I would pass on the wisdom.
Plan a holiday here this year for Australia.
Making news tonight, the Child Protection Unit is investigating after a 4-year-old child was found dead in a car on a hot day in Townsville. Fraser Island has been closed to visitors, with fire crews fearing the bushfire there could flare dangerously in the heatwave. And China's new tariffs on Australian wine exports will start tomorrow, adding taxes of more than 200%.
It's the rental revolution. Retirement villages renting out homes instead of selling them, and retirees moving in together to share the bills. It's all about affordability as the cost of living continues to rise.
Anne and John face the latest dilemma for retirees. Private renting is too expensive. It took 8 years to find an answer.
Well, rental's just as good as buying, but in fact I don't have money to buy.
Village operator Bolton Clark is leading the change, renting out up to 10% of units.
Some are just living with their families or on couches and things like that, so it's very important that we try and fill that gap.
Another revolution in Brisbane's north, seniors sharing as joint tenants.
We're getting hundreds of inquiries every month, basically from people just to look at group households.
Hear the word flatmate and you normally think of young people. However, more seniors are now splitting the bills.
Well, we're 2 weeks down the track and we haven't killed each other yet.
Marilyn and Mark rent a 5-bedder, split the bills, gardening and housework.
Everything I've looked at within my budget has been a rat's nest, and I'm a class act and I want to live somewhere beautiful.
Their landlord is on board with the new trend.
To be able to share them with those that will appreciate it, that's very satisfying, and that's pretty much our motivation.
If we can't make this work here, well, we're the problem.
Oh, Maradonna's gone away, has she? Oh, she says you're going to clean the pool. Oh.
Yep, I'm onto the pool.
Steve Titmus, 7 News.
Someone clean the pool. OK, weather.
I wouldn't take on Marilyn.
Here's Birdie.
Thanks for that, guys. G'day, everybody. It's sensational end of the working week today. I'll tell you what, we are set for a very hot and dry weekend ahead. Let's take a quick look at today's temperatures. The coastal region's the place to be. Temperatures held steady around that 27, 28 degrees, warming up to around 29 degrees around the Gold Coast, and Bayside not too bad as well. In the city, 29, 30 around Archerfield, 32 for Ipswich. To the charts now, there's a big difference coming through here. We've got that high pressure system sitting deep in the Tasman, directing those onshore breezes up to us. Now, tomorrow that system will shift to the north, but it's daily going to bring some more hot air down from the tropics. Now, we're going to see the arrival of hot air on Sunday into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, expected to be quite extreme. High fire danger warnings in place as well. We'll also have an inland trough putting a squeeze on that system coming through the west coast. So we can expect very oven-like temperatures, if you know what I mean, with some hot wind also blowing down the coast. So around the nation, clear skies for Sydney, 36, quite warm also Canberra, afternoon storm 34, partly cloudy for Melbourne 28, hot in Adelaide 38 degrees. In comes that temperature. Alice Springs, by the way, 43. To the northern tropics now, a storm for Weipa 33, good evening up there. Cairns also a shower to 30 degrees, similar for Townsville 30 also for Mackay and partly cloudy. Remaining partly cloudy coastal regions, Rockhampton down to Hervey Bay 31, the highs there down to 29 at Hervey Bay, 31 for Gympie, on the range at Toowoomba 15 to 31. Venture west, up comes the Mercury 38 degrees for Longreach, 37 Roma. Gold and Sunshine Coast for tomorrow, back to the southeast, holding steady with that sea breeze, 27 to 28 degrees respectively. respectively. Tonight we're at 18 to 19. Head west, up comes the Mercury. 30 for Logan. 29 Caboolture, I think we'll give it a couple more than that. 34 degrees for Ipswich. Bodie's east-northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Looking okay up till about 10 in the morning, and then it comes that northerly. 29 degrees in the city, plenty of blue sky all around, zero chance of rain ahead. Sunday 32 all the way through to Tuesday. Wednesday the peak 34 degrees. Ipswich, I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to get really hot, up to 43 degrees on Wednesday. Looking absolutely horrible leading up to then. Very, very warm. Gold Coast, Sunday 31, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday the peak day again, 33. That's when the heat wave comes. Cool change on Thursday, particularly on the Sunshine Coast, down to 27, but not before that 34 degree temperature on Wednesday. Let's check the waterways for tomorrow. For the surfers over the weekend, hit the corners and points. That'll be the best bet before those winds start to crank through. Nice and early tomorrow morning will be ideal. Light winds to start with before turning more onshore, bit of northerly later in the day. Really ramping up as we're heading towards Sunday. Now, of course, for those getting out there, the waves, well, they're around waist height, a little bit big on those small swell magnets. Water temp hovering 23 degrees. Boating conditions, the first few hours tomorrow will be best. Sunday, forget it unless you're back in the estuaries. Been some awesome catches of dolphin fish about. Have a look at this. The boys on board Sea Probe Charters getting amongst the action. Back inshore, loads of whiting. They love this time of the year. What eats whiting? Mangrove jacks. They're around too. The mid and lower reaches of the canals and also along the sand flats. Good luck.
Thanks, Birdie. And that's all from us this Friday. Thanks for your company. We'll have updates throughout the evening.
I'm off on a short break, but look forward to joining you again in the new year. For now, from all the team, have a good night.
Good night.